And I'm going to give you some tips on your attitude on a motor vehicle stop. I'm going to push this up a little bit so I can see my computer as well as I give you this information. And it kind of brings up a story from a guy who's part of this group, one of my old pals from my days at WPD. You know who you are, Mr. How are you, buddy? When he first started, he was very good at interdiction, and dude, if you just become a little bit nicer on your motor vehicle stops, just a little bit, you're probably going to get more bees with honey than you do with vinegar. So here's some advice to you. If you sound like a raving lunatic or like a robot, or I know from my USMC friends out there who were on the job, you have to adopt a personality. So when you come to my 2-day course, we always talk about what did my attitude look like when you were watching my videos on motor vehicle stops. Did I ever sound like I was over aggressive? Did I ever sound like I was a maniac? Did I ever sound like I was screaming at people? Did I ever seem like I was intimidating to people? I'm a little bit bigger, so maybe my personal stature and the way my uniforms were tailored and has the short sleeves and all that stuff, maybe that was a little intimidating to folks. But outside of that, I was very professional, very polite. And the reason that we're going to be that way to people when we stop them is because when we pose questions to confirm or dispel suspicions of criminal activity in a motor vehicle, we want to have them calm, cool, and collective, and really at a baseline. So when you pose those questions of, is there anything illegal in the car? Can I search the car? You're going to find that those questions will evoke responses. So here's some advice to you. Be professional, be polite, calm the driver and passengers, and this is what I'm going to tell you. This is my introduction every single time. Hey, good evening. I'm Officer Benito, Woodbridge Township Police. Needs your license, registration, proof, insurance, please. And if somebody said to me, well, what am I being stopped for? I'd say the same thing every time. Don't get into the habit of telling people what you're stopping them for without first getting their documents. Now, I know some whack-a-mamie, cockamamie bullshit administrator somewhere made up some rules for their agency that says they have to tell people on motor vehicle stops because some guy with collar brass said, this sounds like a good rule for us to make, so get the non-cop who became a boss. The guy who was never a cop became the boss. Comes with these bullshit rules for people to follow. But if you don't have to do that, don't get into the habit of telling people what you're stopping them for before you get their documents. So the simple answer to that is, officer, what am I being stopped for? Sir, ma'am, as soon as I get your documents, I promise you I'll explain everything to you. I just need to see those first. I'm going to tell you 99.9% of the time, people will be like, okay, no problem. Yeah, just get me the documents, and I promise you I'll explain it to you. I just need your documents first. What happens when you tell somebody that they were doing something that they think is bullshit, and you haven't received their documents first? If you haven't played that game yet, and you're a newer guy and you haven't experienced, because most senior guys have experienced that mistake once before, you're going to have somebody fighting with you. I'm not giving you my license. Let me see a supervisor. Blah, 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 blah. So don't get into the habit of telling people what they're being stopped for before getting their information and their documents. You want to have that in your hand. And a lot of times that would be addressed as we came out of the car. Remember, on interdiction stops, they're always coming out of the car. We talk about assessments in the class, and I'll go over the assessments in a video, but they're always coming out of the car, off to the side of the roadway in a safe location, and that's when I usually explain what my probable cause or reasonable suspicion in New Jersey. That's what what our standard is. But that's when I would say, hey, by the way, you're being stopped. Your front seat passenger wasn't wearing a seatbelt. You have a license plate light out. I realize that one of your brake lights is out. Oh, it is? Yeah, you don't have to check it, but I promise you, I assure you I'm not lying to you about it. They run back to, let me see it. Like, the car here, we'll show it to you. It's no problem. Let's get down to brass tacks and the reason why I really stopped you. And the fact of the matter is you suspect they're involved in criminal activity. So, politeness, here's a great introduction. Hi, I'm Officer, whoever you are, so-and-so, whatever police department. Good evening. May I please see your license, registration, proof of insurance? What am I being stopped for? As soon as I get your documents, I'll explain everything to you, I promise you. All right, you have to tell me. You don't have, in New Jersey, you don't have to tell people what they're being stopped for. And you want to tell them that. Sir, I don't have to tell you. There's case law on it. I don't have to tell you exactly what you're being stopped for. The ticket will say that. I mean, don't get into that threatening of a ticket. Now, if they're refusing documents, obviously at a certain point, obstructing administration of law will come into play. I believe it's State versus Pearlstein, which was somewhere in South Jersey. It's a 1985 case. Off the top of my head, I can't think of it. But if people are refusing to give you documents, that's an arrestable offense, and I'm pretty sure that's a federal standard, and I can't imagine there's a state that says anything different in their case law. But that's some tips today, just some basic stuff for you guys to take back and begin employing. Stop sounding like this on motor vehicle stops. License, registration, insurance. If you sound like that, you're not winning. You're not going to get ahead, I promise you. There is no need to put a badge on and come to work like a fucking tough guy. You can just be a nice person, and you're going to achieve a lot more. And you're going to get a lot more people working with you. I can't tell how many times I've been on scenes, and people have said to me, "Can I talk to you? You're so nice." I've been at warrants, doing search warrants on houses, and people have pulled me to the side and said, "Hey, can I talk to you? You just seem so nice, more than everybody else. Let me tell you where the drugs are." So, guys, it's just basic common knowledge as a police officer. If you guys want anything addressed, I know that I spoke to some people yesterday. The guys who had questions yesterday that I didn't get to today, please send me a message, and then we'll get a phone call going, because they've been addressed in previous videos, and I just want to help you one-on-one. I happen to be going out and helping somebody in person next week. So, if there's anything I can do for you, reach out to me anytime. Take care. Hey, thanks for watching the video. If you liked what you saw, subscribe to our channel or leave a comment below, and also like us too. It means the world to us.